lately I've been getting a lot of questions. Specifically, why do we look at graphic images? Why are we drawn to accident scenes? Why can I not look away? Well, there's some really important psychological reasons behind this. Now, when I talk about reasons, I'm talking about evolution and development and psychological coping strategies that make us want to look at these things, even though they sound really undesirable and can even be traumatic once you see them. So basically, these experiences are triggering your survival response. This is a very primitive response, meaning that your brain wants to assess a dangerous circumstance, to learn about it, and to also make sure that you are protected and you are safe. Your brain, deep down inside, even subconsciously, wants to look at these things to protect yourself from danger. It sounds crazy, but it's true. Now, evolutionarily speaking, we have what's called a negative bias. We pay more attention to negative circumstances than positive ones. The reason for that is because we actually learn more from negative experiences than positive ones. That is an unfortunate truth. But when we see something scary or troubling or graphic or a car accident or something bad happening, we're drawn to look at it again, to learn from it and to protect ourselves from it in the future. And you're not thinking this stuff consciously. This is a subconscious reaction or an unconscious reaction to be drawn to these images or scenes. There are many other theories as well as to why we might be drawn to these images. One is that as humans, and in order to interact and in order to have a society, we need to understand empathy. And when we see bad things that have happened to others, it creates a sense of empathy within us so we can relate and understand and communicate with each other. You know, lately we've been inundated with really graphic images, scenes of war and death and destruction, all horrific things, and they're traumatizing and they're really, really difficult to see. And now you're thinking about it. People tend to say that when you experience trauma, it's not good to talk about it. Well, the opposite is true. You should talk about it. In these cases, studies show that if you see things that are troubling, talking to people that might understand how troubling it was for you, or just talking through what you're feeling with somebody could be really, really beneficial and ease that up and actually dissipate some of those images a little bit sooner than later. That brings me to an individual named Viktor Frankl, who was a psychiatrist who survived Nazi concentration camps and wrote several books and is a pioneer in the field of logotherapy and finding meaning in your lives. He has a quote, "To create meaning in the midst of traumatic experiences is fundamental to human nature." And a lot of research that he's done and research that has come after him has pointed to some really interesting data that as human beings, when we experience traumatic events, there can be life changes and there can be positive outcomes. We also see altruism and self-improvement, basically acts of kindness and compassion. It sparks this sense of altruistic behavior to be a part of a community and help others and be a part of something bigger and better and meaningful to make change for the better. It allows us to feel connected with others. Sometimes these circumstances give us a sense of connectedness to family and friends and spouses and loved ones in ways that we never had before. And it also can give us a sense of meaning in the form of an appreciation for life. It allows us to contemplate life and death and the meaning of it all, and sometimes creates some philosophical questions in us. But it allows us to be present and to understand more what we want out of our lives and how important the people in our lives are to us.